Oh, sorry about that. Here, I got something.
So, why don't you start, let's get the staff to grab a paper towel.
I think we're good.
No, you're gonna need another one.
Just clean up my mess here. I think so.
That's okay. She's-
Look good?
towel.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. In accordance with sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. Before I continue with my remarks, I'd like to make some introductions. First, our panel. On my far left is Ms. Natalia Popovic. On my immediate left is Ms. Sophia Ruddick. On my near right is Mr. Stan Komorek. And on my far right is Mr. Alex Adams. Also at the left end of the desk is our Deputy Secretary Treasurer, Ms. Barbara Bartosik. And in front of the panel is Barbara's support staff. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning that applies to property, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consent to sever property to create new lots. We acknowledge the land we're meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connecting with their computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone, and will have the option of participating via video or audio only. All virtual participants will automatically be muted on entry. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. We ask that you also mute your devices until you're called on to speak. Those participating via video appearance will be temporarily upgraded to panelist when your item is being held. During this time, your camera will be enabled. You will only be visible during your 5-minute allotted speaking time. At all other times, your video will be disabled and you will be reinstated as an attendee. For both in-person and virtual participants, the Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations that have been submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or any other panelist controls during a video appearance. The host will remove you from the panelist role if you fail to respect this instruction. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address because the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body, TLAB, will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the TLAB or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal, OLT.
We've lost you for some reason.
Oh. I got nothing now. Okay, sorry. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. I'll just ask staff, is it critical for me to appear, or is my voice sufficient?
You do need to be on camera.
I should appear?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to the WebEx and see if you need to sign in again.
There you go. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and specified persons and public bodies, as those terms are defined in the Planning Act, are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. Our hearing procedure is that I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda, with the exception of cases where the applicant has requested that we defer their application for today. In those cases, and I believe we have one today, we'll deal with it first and then go back to the numbered agenda. Where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant may proceed with their presentation if desired. When the committee does not require a presentation, applicants are to advise the chair should they wish to speak to the committee. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are reaching the 5 minutes. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept materials at the hearing. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee on the application. Please note that the committee may not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. The committee may decide to defer the application if substantially revised to ensure the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the application are informed of the changes. Then, individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through WebEx. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their remarks. When all speakers are finished, the applicant agent has an opportunity to rebut only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. Then the application will be taken into committee for a decision. Before hearing the first item today, we need confirmation of the minutes of the last meeting. Could I have a motion to adopt those minutes? I believe it was August
13th.
13th.
I will move that motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Komorek. And is there a seconder?
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, the minutes of the meeting of August 13th have been adopted. I ask firstly of the panel, are there any declarations of interest for items in this time slot? And staff, same question for you. Staff never has any declarations of interest. Okay, Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, have you received any requests for deferral?
Yes, Mr. Chair, item 7.
Okay, thank you. So we'll be dealing with that first momentarily. And Madam Deputy Secretary Treasurer, do we have any files to close today?
We do have quite a number. We'll deal with those at the end of the agenda, just to keep things moving for the people that are here.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so we're going to look firstly at the item where the applicant has requested deferral, and that is item 7. Just want to pull this one up a little here. So this is 82 Hillcroft Drive. Purpose is to construct a new detached dwelling with an attached garage. There are 4 variances. And we had urban forestry condition 2, a planning condition, 10 opposition letters, and the applicant's request to defer. So I presume we're now facing the agent, Maya Marchese.
Yes, that's correct.
Hi. If
Good
you,
mor-
if you, Ms. Marchese, could outline your reasons for requesting deferral today?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and fellow committee members. I'm Maya Marchese, planner at Design Plan Services located at 87 Skyway Avenue. We were just recently retained to assist with this application at 82 Hillcroft Drive, and we're requesting that the application be deferred because we were made aware that the notice sign wasn't posted on the property within the required notice period. And we respectfully request that the application be deferred to the next available hearing date so that the proper notice can be provided.
Okay, thank you. Panel, unless you have any questions of Ms. Marchese, we can entertain a motion to defer.
Other speakers to this item?
Oh, yes, good point. There are speakers to this item, a number of speakers to this.
Mr. Chairman, along with the 3 virtual speakers that you have on your list, we have 1 additional person that's also in person.
Okay, and we also, I guess that person then is the only in-person person. So we'll hear from them first.
I believe so. So that would be Deborah Jameson from 81 Halliburton Avenue.
Okay.
Would you like to address the committee for the deferral purpose? Good morning. You have to come to the podium, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm an adjoining property owner, Deborah, at 81 Halliburton Avenue.
And your last name?
Jameson?
Thank you.
And Ms. Jameson, just before you start, just in case you don't know, this item has been requested by the applicant to be deferred because the notice was not in compliance with the Planning Act. So we're not going to consider or hear the merits of the application today. So if you have any concerns about any of the variances, we're not going to be discussing that.
That's my only comment today, then would be to
Okay.
address the variances.
So you're okay with the deferral?
Well, I'd prefer not, because I'm not positive I'd be available at the alternative date. But again, I
Unfortunately,
refer to your,
unfortunately, the notice wasn't in compliance with the Provincial Planning Act, so we can't proceed.
okay, then I have
so-
nothing further to add.
Okay, thank you. And then, according to my notes here, we have 4 other virtual participants.
We have 3 other virtual participants. I can call upon the first one that's on your list, Michael Connor.
I have nothing to add if it's going to be deferred.
So you're okay with the deferral?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Then the second person is Adam Eston, and I believe that's this person here. Adam Eston, are you there?
Yeah, hold on. Yep, I guess I am.
Can we get your name and address?
Okay. I'm at number 10 Random Street, and the name is Adam Eston. And I guess it's been deferred, so there's no comment.
So are you agreeable to a deferral to a later date?
I have no choice. And I'm fine.
Thank you.
The next speaker that we have is, let me see here, Gwen Keane.
Yes, I'm here and I have no further comment on the deferral.
Can you, for the record, state your address, please?
Yes, my address is 9 Random Street, Etobicoke.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we don't have Amy Goman?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do have Amy Goldman as well.
Hi, committee. I'm Amy Goman. I'm from 78 Hillcroft Drive, and I don't have any comments on the deferral other than we don't have a choice.
Thank you. Okay, so unless there are any questions, we can entertain a motion to defer.
I'd like to move a motion, but I'd like to make a comment before we do that. Comment to the applicant. Just given the extent of the neighborhood opposition to this application, once we do the deferral, I would recommend that, being a new agent, you may take the time to process your application with neighbors so that they could better understand, or you may want to adjust to deal with some of their concerns. Anyway, having said that, I will move a motion to defer the application due to insufficient notice.
Thank you, Mr. Comoric. Is there a seconder for Mr. Comoric's motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Ruddock. All in favor? Okay, item 7 has been deferred. Thank you, Ms. Marchese. And thank you, neighbors. Okay, we'll now go back to the numbered agenda, starting with item 1, 44 Longview Drive. Purpose is to construct a partial second-story addition, a one-story north side addition, and a north and east side platform. There are 12 variances. We have Urban Forestry has requested their condition 1. Ravine and natural features protection are okay with the application. In additional materials, we received Transportation Review Department recommending 5 conditions, and we have an MTO advisory. The agent is Graham Day. Mr. Gray, are you available to make a presentation to the committee this morning?
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Chair, members of the committee. My name's Graham. I am the designer and agent for the application at 44 Longview here. My address is 37 Main Street South in Waterdown. As mentioned by Chair there, the purpose of this proposal is to revitalize the existing single-family dwelling, which is situated on a corner lot, a partial second-story addition along with a main story extension and a wrapping platform on those 2 street-facing yards. I have reviewed all the staff reports and the conditions requested by the various departments here, and we are in full agreement with their recommendations and conditions. I don't really have anything further to add. I am happy to answer any questions and or provide clarity should there be any questions by the committee. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, panel, are there any questions for Mr. Day?
Just one. Just curious whether you've had any contact with the immediate neighbor, number 51. Is it Ettrick Crescent? Because they're the only ones that I can see would be directly impacted by the proposed balcony.
Through you, Chair. To my knowledge, I have not heard any kind of correspondence between the 2 neighbors. 44 Longview has kind of been sitting vacant, so there's not much coming and going from the owners here. But to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything, and I didn't see any kind of opposition letters uploaded.
No, understood. I mean, we've seen no opposition letters either. I'm just wondering, I mean, normally, you know, the only mitigating thing there would be a privacy screen or something like that, but no one's asked for it, so I'm not sure we're going to get into that, but I'm just curious.
Through you, Chair. Yes, understood. That's definitely something we can incorporate into the design of that platform. I should make note that the platform should not extend beyond their current front face of their garage. I believe it is it's almost like a 2-story garage with no windows anyways. So there should be very little impact to them.
Yeah. Okay. Panel, any other questions?
Mr.
comments?
Chair, I have a question.
Yep, Ms. Poplar.
Mr. Agent, looking at your looking at the notice and the minor variance number 7, can you please take us to the plans or anywhere else in your materials to clarify and address the minor variance increase from 4 meters to 48.4 meters? Please.
Through you, Chair, I'm just digesting this this variance again here. Bottom at or above the second story is 4 meters. The proposed north. Right. So I think it's important to discuss grading on the lot. If you start at the south end of the lot and you go to the north end, which faces Ettrick here, it drops about 2 meters. So based, I think, just a technicality, essentially this platform balcony is kind of being dubbed that this is the second story of the house, even though it is the main floor, just due to the grading present. And I think that's where this is coming in. So they are calling this a second story. I mean, and I think they even, you can see number 5, they're calling it a 3-story dwelling, when in, I think, reality, it's more or less a 2-story house at the end of the day. I'm not sure if that completely answers your question there, but I think just because it's being considered a second-story balcony, and that's where that trigger is there.
Thank you for that answer. I was asking to see if there's an image or something in the plans that would specifically address that minor variance.
So you're okay?
Through you, Chair, I think the front elevation, or let's see here. Yeah, proposed side east elevation, page 3 of 9. And then the following 2 elevations would depict this, along with the front, the land survey, and what we're calling the main floor plan. Maybe I'm not understanding the question correctly there.
Page 3 of 9, is there a plan page such as A2, A6? Like, where is that addressed?
I think the member's looking for a pictorial representation of the variance, and I would suggest that A6 might be where you want to go point to.
A6, yeah. Through you, Chair. Yeah, so proposed main floor plan, page 8 of 9, which is what we're calling the proposed main floor plan. Starting at the bottom of the page, you come up these about, I'd call it 8 or 9 steps up to the front porch. Then you extend, kind of going right, which is the north end, going towards the north. That's the beginning of this balcony that is in question and triggering this 48.4 square meters of the platform.
Thank you, Mr. Agent.
So that, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's a pictorial for that. And just, if I may, Mr. Chair, just to come back to my original question, I guess, on that drawing, where it's the 12-foot section at the top of the drawing is where I thought a privacy screen might be appropriate. Just wondering how the applicant feels about that.
Through your Chair, yes, definitely. That's definitely something we would consider, and I think would be a nice fit to this. And I think the current owners would appreciate that as well, some privacy here as well.
Okay, privacy works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Kumar?
Yep.
Mr. Adams?
Mr. Applicant, I'm looking at variance number 12 here, which is variance 12, which is for the electric charging for the parking spot, and I'm just aware of in our additional materials, the transportation memo, it is requiring a energized outlet capable of level 2 charging. Are you aware of that?
Through you, Chair, yes.
Okay, no issues. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, there being none, I think we can go into committee then for a motion.
Yeah, I'm prepared to move a motion to approve with some amendments. I'd like to recommend that the privacy screen be installed on that section as illustrated on site plan A6. I'd also recommend that
Sorry, that's on the west side?
it's on the west side, yeah.
And could we specify that that be a 1.5 meter tall?
Yeah, the standard.
Yeah.
And subject to the transportation conditions, which essentially would then eliminate variance 12. So I'm not sure whether we eliminate variance 12 or just add the transportation conditions. Barb, any opinion on that? Because essentially their condition is to eliminate that variance.
Well, it's up to the applicant to withdraw. You're in the motion now, so
So if we impose that condition, I mean, they're going to essentially have to do it anyway.
yes.
Either way.
Yep.
So that's fine. I'll just move the transportation conditions as submitted.
And I think you mentioned urban forestry 1.
Sorry, in urban forestry 1.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, so is there a seconder for Mr. Kamorik's motion?
Sure, I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Day. Moving on to item 2. 46 WESTOWANIS, not sure of the pronunciation, Drive. Purpose of the application is to maintain the existing one-story rear addition, a sunroom. There are 2 variances. Pretty straightforward. However, we do have a registered speaker, and there were 2 letters of opposition, so I think we will request a presentation from the agent.
Mr. Chairman, just before we continue, the person on your list as the area resident is supposed to be virtual, but I don't see them here. So unless they're in person, I don't know if they're here or not. They might not be. Is there somebody here from 38 WESTOWANIS Drive?
Surname Gerbacks? And they're not.
They're not here. They're not online.
Okay. Well, notwithstanding, we still have 2 letters of opposition. So I think a brief presentation, please, from Mr. Raman Kumar, the agent.
Yes, good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Raman Kumar, and I'm the applicant and designer for this application. And we are requesting minor variance.
Sorry, your address, please.
Sorry, so our application address is 46.
No,
West,
your corporate address.
corporate address is MEM Engineering, 2355 Dairy Road East, Mississauga, Unit 28.
Okay,
And,
thank you. Go
and
ahead.
I'm here for the application address 46 WESTOWANIS Drive, Toronto, Ontario, and we are requesting variance for required rear yard setback is 7.5 meter, and this as-built structure need a rear yard setback 4.21 meter, and maximum permitted FSI floor space index is 0.60, and we are requesting proposed floor space index 0.62. This sunroom is as built, already built on site, and then they got an order to comply from the enforcement, and we submitted application, and then we got these minor variances, and we are applying for that. And we already got correspondence from the planning department to submit MTO permit, and the TRCA permit, which we already submitted. We got queries regarding the tree protection. Not any tree is getting injured regarding this construction, and we are also agreed to provide any kind of documentation while application process. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kumar. Could you comment at all on the two letters of opposition from numbers 36 and 56?
Sir, I have no idea why those opposed are here, because this is a small addition and it's already built. We have one letter of support also from the immediate neighbor, and they have no concern regarding this. So might be there is personal reasons. I can't comment on that.
But you are aware of the letters. You said you
Yes.
have no idea, but they're quite comprehensive letters. Have you read them, thought about them?
So they are opposing regarding the construction, but but I would,
Yeah.
but I can say this as-built construction is should not impact the neighbors, because the height and everything is maintained, and this construction, and we are requesting very minor changes from the zoning bylaw as well. So that is our request, just to approve this application.
Okay.
If they have any specific question, I can answer.
What construction would be involved? The purpose is this is to maintain an existing sunroom. What construction?
Yes, so this is as built. So they made a wood construction, basically small piers at the bottom, and then wood construction on the top. And it is maintained at the main level of the house, like same level at the main.
No, I know. So there are no construction issues.
No, but the neighbors are complaining about the construction.
Yeah, I know. Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments?
I have a couple, if I may, Mr. Chair. I'm just looking at the plans, Mr. Applicant. There's nothing shown for the interior space of the new room. Can you explain what it's used for?
That is a big, just a normal open space for as a sunroom, just for the 3-season sunroom. I think we submitted an application over there. We showed that, should have on paper as well.
Well, it just shows a blank floor plan. So essentially, is it a mud room? Is it sort of a boot room, that kind of thing, or?
Just like a open recreation space, while like summertime they can sit over there. Just
Okay,
like
so it's unheated space.
Unheated, sir.
Okay. And what is the nature of the property immediately to the north? Is it TCR, Toronto?
TRC.
So that's land that no one's ever going to build on, I guess.
No, they are like they have certain setbacks. Like we are not in the flood zone, but whenever any property is under TRC, we need to get approval from them. We already applied.
No, I understand that. I understand that, but it's not like. My concern is you have a rear yard setback variance, but if the land behind you is going to be park space or permanent green space, I have less of a concern about that setback. So I'm just asking, what is the nature of the land behind that property?
That's a ravine lot, sir.
Okay, so
It's
it's not buildable land.
No, that's just a ravine, and it will remain ravine as per TRC plan.
That's what that's what I'm getting at. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. That was the extent of my questions.
Thank you. Are there any other questions, panel, or comments? No? Okay, then let's go into committee then for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd be happy to move a motion to approve. I don't give much credence to the 2 objection letters. They're not directly affected. I don't believe the comments are actually valid. The immediate neighbor, one of the 2 immediate neighbors, which would be more affected, is actually here in support. And my only concern was a rear yard setback. given that this is land that will never be built on, I don't think it's going to affect anybody. And for that reason, I'm happy to, I believe it meets the 4 tests and would move approval with no conditions.
Thank you for Mr. Kamork. Is there a seconder for Mr.
I'll
Kamork?
second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Kumar.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
You too. Okay, we can now move to item 3, 700 to 770 FENMAR Drive. Purpose of the application is to construct a 1-story north side addition to the existing building. There are 4 variances. We have Transportation Review Department is okay with the application, and we have an urban forestry recommendation for denial, and then a supplementary freestanding communication from urban forestry on August 19th saying that an alternative to refusal would be their condition 1. There are no registered speakers, and we have before us the agent, Mr. Alan Tregabov.
That's right.
Okay, if you could just sort of repeat your name and give your address and tell us a little bit about your application.
Sure. Name is Alan Tregabov. My business address is 1544 Danforth in Toronto.
Unit 204.
Pardon me?
Unit 204.
Yes, that's right.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This is part of a site plan agreement application. This is one of the last steps involved. There was you mentioned a number of variances here. Most variances to the trucking and parking have to do with the actual operation. Vinyl Window Designs is a long-standing company in the GTA. They have a number of properties, Toronto and the city of Vaughan. And this particular plant, they make vinyl extrusions. This is the framing, the trim around the windows that they then produce themselves. There's 19 extruding machines. They run 24 hours a day. There's a couple of technicians who keep these running on shifts. There's a small office staff. And this new addition is almost all for storage and shipping. They make thousands of feet every hour of vinyl window frames. They stack them up, and there's usually 1 semi-trailer a day that comes. It's packed overnight. It leaves in the morning. The next day, another semi-trailer comes to take extrusions away. In the back, we have also loading, because we have silos in the back where small plastic pellets are delivered, and they get resupplied every few weeks. So we have loading front and back, and it created a variance, technical variance. But the traffic engineer and the traffic department have gone over this together. There should be no concern. There was a variance about the truck turning areas. This is FENMAR is quite an industrial street, right just south of Steeles in that part of the city. It's all heavy truck traffic, and we're making sure all the trucks can turn in and out on the site. They never have to use the city street for maneuvering. There's a variance about the width of the driveways parallel to the parking spots. The setback is around 12 meters on the, let's say, the south side of the property. We have a fire route of 6 meters clear. We have a row of parking spots, parallel spots, I think 2.7. We have a sidewalk of around 1.5 meters. We also have a small tolerance near a fence to the neighbor's property. So the transportation did not, well, there's a variance and no concern in terms of traffic movement. The number of parking spots right now on the site, there was, approximately 55 parking spots existing on the site that are not needed. What we need is around a dozen staff positions for the warehouse. There's about 10 people or so in the offices, and we put about 10 extra parking spots for visitors. And also for a shift change, when sometimes there's 2 workers at the same time. So the staff had no problem with the number of parking spots proposed, because this is a sole purpose building designed and built for the operations in hand. And these have been going on for many, many years. It's not a new operation. So I think the question that came up from urban forestry was an interesting one. When we first put in the application to the committee and sat down with the committee members on a couple of occasions, we proposed to leave, there's 4 street trees in the boulevard between the roadway and the sidewalk. The city asked that we move the sidewalk and widen it. I've yet to see a pedestrian on that road because there's heavy trucks occasionally, about 1 or 2 semis an hour go by. But we did agreed. We moved the sidewalk close to the property line, 1 foot away, 0.3, give them a wider sidewalk. That meant 2 of the city trees would not be able to remain. And we proposed that we replace them with 2 trees closer to the curbside, to the standards of urban forestry. I believe that is the basis of this secondary comment from urban forestry. The other reason why we decided the trees to be replaced was that if we do that, we don't have to create new hydro lines and then work with
Sorry,
hydro.
you have 30 seconds to wrap
Okay,
up.
sure, that's all. I'm almost done. There's 2 issues that came from the city. One was if we can move the trees, they could maintain the existing fire hydrants. And 2, that if we move those trees and widen the sidewalk, we can keep the existing hydro poles and hydro wires in place. So that seemed to be a good balance. We'd replace 2 of the trees on this industrial street. Everything else is copacetic.
Okay, thank you. Panel, any questions or comments for Mr.?
I'm just confused by the city.
Yeah.
So the sidewalk is on city property, is it not?
That's right.
But they're asking you to widen it
Yes.
as a
This is
condition?
a typical site plan condition.
Yeah.
That the city gets a sidewalk improved at the expense of the development.
No, I understand, but widening that, doesn't that put it into the line of where the fire hydrant is?
No, it allows us to maintain the existing fire hydrants. Remember, the city is not one person and one entity.
Oh, I understand, but.
There's many departments and everybody is important.
Yeah. Or they think, well, yeah.
They are. We need them all.
We do. I just, to me, it seems like it's a conflict between city departments as opposed to with your proposal. But anyway, I don't want to complicate that.
No, I think in the end it's a balancing act, and you're absolutely right. They have different mandates. Urban forestry is not looking for the same thing as perhaps.
No, for sure. Well, urban forestry has given us an alternative, and that's for you to apply to deal with the city trees. So I think we're okay.
No, I think that was it. I thought I agreed on that in writing to, it's the street protection.
Yeah.
It's a multi-page document.
Yeah.
It's been signed.
Okay.
And you mentioned that you negotiated an agreement to plant some new trees. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't request, condition 3 is cash in lieu of trees. Anyway, they've asked for condition 1, which is trees, city-owned trees.
They'll work that out through site plan.
You'll work that out. But in the event of approval here today, we would impose urban forestry condition 1, because that's what they've requested.
Perfectly acceptable.
Any other questions or comments?
No, just a curiosity question. Is your client going to be affected by the tariff situation?
A lot of it is a company that does export to the U.S. I believe their domestic market is much larger than the export market.
Good.
And about half of the extrusions from this plant are used by vinyl window designs, and about half are sold to other companies. So I'm sure there's...
So they're going to continue to be around for a while?
And they have been for decades.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, having said all of that, I'm happy to move a motion to approve. I believe it meets the 4 tests. The only condition that I would impose then is forestry condition 1.
Thank you, Mr. Komorek. Is there a seconder for Mr. Komorek's motion?
I'll second that. Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you, sir, and good
Thank
luck
you.
with your venture,
Thank you.
or your client's venture. Okay, we can now move on to item 4, 2 LACKMAN Court. Purpose is to maintain the existing rear yard deck. There are 3 variances. We have no interest in, from the public in participating on this one. And the only agency comment we have is a Metrolinx advisory panel. Are we okay with treating this as straightforward, not requiring a presentation? Okay. So let's just speak with Mashad Meshkar, the agent, for a moment.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and member of the committee.
Good
My
morning.
name is Mahshad Meshkar, and I'm the authorized agent for the owner of the 2 LACKMAN Court, and I'm here in support of the minor variance application for this property. So I'm pleased to present my application.
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. First of all, can you just tell us what your corporate address is?
My address is 180 West Beaver Creek Road from the Permit Man, Company of Permit Man.
Okay. Now, the panel has agreed that we do not need a presentation because your application is very straightforward. You're entitled to present if you wish, but if you are okay, we can just proceed with questions if we have any.
Sure, you can proceed with any question if you have.
Okay.
I'm pleased to answer any question.
Good, let's do that then. So, panel, are there any questions?
Sorry, I don't have it. I don't have your voice.
Hello? Oh.
Yes.
Test.
Oh, okay, it's back, it's back.
So we have.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, sorry. My only question was, how did we get here, since this is a request to maintain the existing? So how did we wind up here without, I guess, without a building permit?
Yes, this platforms and pools constructed without the permit, but in this stage, the owner tried to obtain the required permit for these structures.
I'm not sure I understand that answer. It was
Yeah,
constructed
the structure and constructed without the permit, but in this stage, the owner wished to apply for the to obtain the required permit.
And is that because they got an order to comply, or they just decided to do it?
Honestly, I'm not sure about it. I think there's no order on this application, order to comply, but the owner wished to apply for the permit. Okay, I don't have a voice again.
Yeah, I know, because I don't have a microphone. It's okay, I'm done. We'll just leave the talking to Don. Yeah.
Only the chair can speak.
Tap your mic, Don.
I don't think yours is working.
Yeah, tap
But
it.
I don't think, Don, yours isn't actually working.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
the
the
light's on, but it's not. Hello? No, it's not working. So do we delay until we fix this?
Yeah, we have to wait until the next one.
Is this microphone? This one works, but I don't know if it's connected.
You just tell everyone we're not gonna technically. Yeah, I messaged them.
Sorry for everyone. We're just having a technical difficulty. So if you can hear me from here, we'll resume in like 5 minutes or so.
محصا رو صدا کنیم.
Test.
Hydro just replaced our meter without telling us.
Hello.
These two are working.
So if there are any questions, people will have to come up.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, we better wait for Sophia.
Barb doesn't work either. Right, yeah.
YouTube is working, it's just the,
So Wi-Fi's okay.
yeah, because our,
Yeah, it's showing. I think in fairness to the agent for item 4, who's been very patient, and our apologies to everyone for the technology issue. I believe we decided we didn't need a presentation. We had questions, there were none. There are no speakers registered on this item. So can we go into committee for a motion?
Okay.
And there are no conditions.
since I've got one of the two working mics, I'll move a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Kamork. Is it? What? Oh. Oh, come on. I didn't do anything.
Computer
No, that's the problem.
I just want to confirm with the agent. Can you hear us?
Can I keep it awake for a while?
Yes, now
Okay,
I can hear.
Perfect. So we just have a
Thank you
few
so
mics
much.
that are not working, but as long as you can hear us, that's good.
Okay, thank you. Just through the chair, I'm gonna correct my answer regarding your question.
Oh, sorry, we're in a motion right now, so there's no questions. Sorry about that.
Who is that speaking?
The agent.
Thank you. So are we in order to call for a seconder and a vote?
Yep, I will second that motion. To
Okay,
approve.
all in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Meshkar. And may I propose that we take an early extended break until we get things fixed? And sorry, folks. When the microphones work. Text me when we're good. Sounds like it. Thank you. Well, we gotta get the folks back. Oh,
They're here.
Just need to go back to, hit start video.
And they're coming back? Okay. We'll wait. Okay.
No, they're here for item 6.
Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait 3 minutes. Do you need to check the? Or you're not checking?
Just see if they're outside.
Oh, Olivia, now I have to sign in again. Oh.
Yeah, but I'll sign it. So
Pardon?
it'll take a minute. Everyone has to sign it.
Oh,
Am I not in? Did I get bumped out?
well, I did.
Yeah, you just have to start your video again on the WebEx.
No, she has
No,
to
I'm
do a whole sign in.
Oh,
In or out?
Go. No, this isn't the right one.
I think there's a way you can extend the time.
It's frustrating when you're chairing because you're not on your computer.
Oh my God, I know.
So then you get timed out.
No, I know.
I see you here. I just don't see your video.
Hang on here. Just go back.
Play that.
Can I see your WebEx for a second?
My WebEx?
Yeah.
Which is this one?
Oh, sorry, you're up.
I'm
You're
up,
Here,
yeah.
okay.
So going back to your email works.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me see if the tally is up here on the. Yep, I see you.
Yes, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, because it's 2 minutes, so. They're coming. Coming.
Here they come. Here they come.
Come on in. Yeah, they were just all there. You okay?
Waiting for our technology to be improved. Our apologies for that. We can now turn our minds to item 5, 11 Banda Square, to construct a 2-story east side addition containing a garage and a 2nd-story addition above the existing dwelling. The altered dwelling will contain a secondary suite. There is one variance to approve a pre-existing front yard setback. And we have one registered speaker, Susan Soto. And our agent is Kruti Shah. Oh, and there are no agency or department conditions or comments on this one. I would suggest we treat it as straightforward, however, is Susan Soto actually available?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Both the agent and the area resident are online.
Okay, good. So let's call on the agent, Kruti Shah.
Good morning. My name is Krutisha. I'm from RGCAD Solutions. My corporate address is 4 Abacus Road, Unit 12. I'm representing this case 11 Banda Square on behalf of my client. We are doing the addition on the existing 1-story building. And the existing front yard setback is 9.72 as per the new zoning by law. we can only comply with 8.35 meters. So we are going for the minor variance application for the second story that we match with our existing ground floor. So deficiency will be 1.37 meter. I don't see any problem with the neighbor, no drainage, nothing. This application looks minor in nature to me. If you have any questions, please ask.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Are there any questions, panel? No. Okay, then let's invite Susan Soto to speak to us.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
I just wanted to know more information about the.
Sorry, firstly, we need your name and address.
Susan Soto, 83 Evening Drive, Etobicoke.
Okay, thank you. Carry on.
I just wanted to know more about the bills and how it's going to be impacting where I live. But if it's just the front yard, that's fine. Like I thought it was going to be the backyard.
No, it's only the front yard, and that front yard setback is pre-existing. They're not changing that.
Okay.
And there's no height variances or variances to any of the other yards. Yeah. Floor space index, nothing.
Front yard, so that doesn't impact me.
Yeah.
It's the backyard that I'm concerned that there's a collapsing fence from her backyard that's pushing against the city fence on my line. That's the only concern I had. But if it's to do with the front of the yard, there's no concern.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Well, I guess there's no real rebuttal, is there? Are there any, I guess, no, you don't have any questions for Ms. Shaw, so we can go into committee for a motion.
I can move to approve this application. I find it to be minor in nature and consistent with the 4 test, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Reddick. Is there a seconder for Ms. Reddick's motion?
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Shaw.
Thank you.
Our next item is number 6, 140 Stanley Avenue. The purpose is to construct a new garden suite in the rear yard. There's one variance. We have 5 opposition letters. No agency comments or conditions. Oh, I didn't pick that up. Is it a Metrolinx? No, there's a Metrolinx advisory. And we have 1 registered speaker, Erica O'Coin, or O'Coin. And our agent is Mr. Craig Rice. Good morning, Mr. Rice. Race, sorry. Good morning. Yeah, if you could make a brief presentation.
I think there are other speakers who just haven't registered.
Only 1. I mentioned her.
So you may want to do a full presentation.
Wow, it's only 1 variance.
It won't extend unless he stands here.
This one is.
It's probably not going to be that much longer either. I can stand there and still be in the camera.
Yeah? Well, I don't know.
That's okay.
This one's even less.
Yeah, I think it should be fine.
How's this?
You.
Thank you very much.
You caution, you have now entered a staff-only zone.
I'm pleased to accommodate.
Okay.
I'll also note there were 4 late submissions of letters of support, Mr. Chair. My name is Craig Race. My address is 100 Lombard Street in Toronto. So the application before the committee is for one minor variance to add a window to a bedroom and a garden suite. The subject property has issued permits for an as-of-right 4-unit houseplex and a 3-bed, 2-bath garden suite. If you could pull up our presentation, please, I'll walk the committee through it. In its current state, the development complies with the zoning bylaws. However, we encountered a conflict between the zoning bylaws and the building code that have brought us to you today. If we go to the next page, the site is located just east of Royal York, immediately south of the Mimico GO station. It's within the Mimico protected major transit station area. Next page, please. This site plan illustrates the approved buildings. I'll draw your attention to the side of the garden suite highlighted in red here. This setback was designed to be 1.2 meters, which is the minimum requirement in the building code to allow windows. However, the zoning bylaw requires a 1.5 meter setback when windows are present. Note that without windows, the zoning bylaw requirement is 1.15 meters. The location of the proposed window will be adjacent to space behind a 4-meter tall garage on the adjacent property that's just visible on the top of the diagram. Next page, please. Here is the elevation in question. Today, we need to ask ourselves if this variance meets the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, which I would suggest to the committee that it does, but only as designed. We are proposing a sill height of 1.5 meters to control overlook and privacy, and I encourage the committee to apply a condition dictating minimum sill height or substantial conformance with the elevation. Next page, please. You can see this window will provide daylight and ventilation to a bedroom, so privacy is a concern both in and out of the space. It will primarily be occupied by sleeping people, and it will have window coverings. We explored design alterations that place the window on other sides of the building, but the building code limits exposed building face to the main building. Also, the neighbors to the north, which is the left side of this drawing, are actually quite close to the structure, and we found windows on that side would create a less desirable impact on adjacent properties. Next page, please. This is actually clearly visible from this neighborhood diagram. 3-story homes are permitted in the area, and the houses to the north are elevated 2.5-story homes. So we find this particular window creates a relatively minor, if not completely imperceptible difference with respect to built form context. This map, by the way, highlights neighbor outreach undertaken by the owner. The application was also circulated to the local councillor and to community planning, neither of whom commented on the application. And if we go to the next page, in conclusion, this application is the result of a balance between bylaws and building code. It will not alter the built form of the garden suite, and with appropriate conditions, it will maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw. It will create a more livable bedroom in a family-oriented rental unit, which is a stated goal of the official plan, and in my opinion, a balanced approach enhancing housing options in this protected major transit station area. Thank you. Those are my submissions. Pleased to take questions.
Thank you, Mr. Race. Panel, any questions or comments for Mr. Race?
I just want to get some clarifications. I believe in your presentation you indicated that the overlook from the window would be to a neighboring garage, which I'm not sure I agree with that comment. Because if I look at your drawing A03, it shows the garden suite substantially behind the neighbor's garage, so you'd be overlooking into the green space behind their garage. Is that not correct?
That is correct. It would be overlooking that space behind the garage.
Okay, not actually onto the garage, which is what I believe you indicated in your presentation.
I believe I said behind, but forgive me if I misspoke.
Okay, no worries. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts would be about maybe we'll get to that after the presentations, but just wanted to clarify that first. Thank you.
Panel, any other questions or comments? Nothing? No. Okay, Mr. Race, do you want to climb over the wall and sit down for a few minutes? And we will invite Erica Aucoin, I believe. Sorry if I've not pronounced that properly.
Hi
Good
there.
morning. Morning.
Good morning. My name is Erica O'Coin. I live at 124 Stanley Avenue. I've lived at that address with my family for 26 years. I became aware of this application for a variance and was considerably disturbed just for the length of time that I've lived in the neighborhood and know the neighbor that is adjacent on the east side of that property. I feel that there will be significant privacy concerns for her. We've got, a person who has lived there, her family, and she's got children, grandchildren visiting very often. The windows on that side will definitely impact her incredibly. I've been there many times for visits, and they have family gatherings in the backyard. I think that there will definitely be, considering there's going to be 5 potential families living on that property, I think that will impact her opportunity to use her backyard space, as well as the people on the west side as well. I also have serious concerns about the safety of the community. As far as I can tell, there is no parking for these 2 structures, and it's already, I believe, an emergency route. There's a school directly across. Again, I've lived in the neighborhood for years. There's a significant amount of traffic, both pedestrian and vehicle traffic, that has been just increasing year over year over year. I think that I'm all for adding housing to the neighborhood, but I just don't really see the point of cramming a structure on every square inch of a property. No issues whatsoever with multiplexes, but I just think for the size of this lot, it just seems to be really overkill, and really will affect the safety of pedestrians and vehicle traffic in the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Can we just ask you a question or make a comment?
Yeah.
I'm just going to start by making a couple of comments. One is, are you aware that garden suites are allowed in all residential neighborhoods in the city of Toronto? Okay.
Yes.
And if they comply with all of the zoning provisions applicable to garden suites, they can be developed as of right. There would be no committee hearing.
Yeah.
In this case, there is a variance. It's the only thing we're considering today, and that is the east side lot line.
Okay.
Proposal to reduce it from 1.5 to 1.2. So that doesn't address any of your concerns about, the size of the building. The size of the building isn't an issue because they don't need a variance for that. Height of the building isn't an issue. It's just this one point. So I just wanted to make that point. Are there any other questions or comments from Ms. O'Coin? Okay, if you could take your seat then, ma'am, and we'll invite Mr. Race.
Sorry about that.
We'll invite Mr. Race to come back up.
No, Mr. Chair, sorry. There is one additional speaker from the neighborhood, and they are in person.
The podium mic is working now, so.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Sorry, I couldn't find my glasses. And members of the committee, my name is Astrid D. Paulo, and I have lived at 144 Stanley Avenue for 25 years. For the record, I would like to state that it's been almost impossible to see anything online about the application on the city website, as there's always a message that they are maintaining the application, so it's been very difficult. So I'm here with my neighbors and feel compelled to protect them by voicing my strong opposition to the application at 140 Stanley. My immediate neighbor to this plan at 140 Stanley is Ada Mangalit. She is recovering from surgery in the hospital, and neither she or her family could be here to speak, but I know that she wanted to be here to object to this herself. She has been in her home for 40 years. I'm also here with Mary McDonald, who's lived at 138 Stanley Avenue. She's on the east side of this proposal, and she has been raising her family, 4 children, for 50 years in a 2-bedroom bungalow. On a regular basis, she gathers 4 generations of family in this modest bungalow, and it's going to be dwarfed by this plan. I am certainly concerned about her privacy. This proposal fundamentally fails all 4 statutory tests under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act. It is not minor, it is not desirable, and it completely violates the intent of zoning bylaws and the official plan. It represents a severe overdevelopment that places profit over public safety. To us, it certainly feels as though the applicant is using the Committee of Adjustment as a loophole to stage a strategic planning bypass. By avoiding a formal zoning bylaw amendment, they are circumventing the mandatory independent traffic impact studies, school board reviews, and stormwater reports required for an intensification of this scale. A formal rezoning application legally forces the developer to pay for the independent professional engineering studies. This includes traffic impact studies to prove the local roads can handle the vehicle load, and storm management reports to evaluate existing sewer infrastructure. A minor variance circumvents this by allowing them to skip these rigorous structural tests. The rezoning also would trigger an all-department audit with the TDSB, which is explicitly brought in to assess if the local schools can handle the population influx, and transportation services formally reviews pedestrian conflict zones. By pushing this as a minor adjustment, the developer limits the scope of this departmental evaluation. We also feel like this is stripping our community of legal rights, as under the recent changes to the Planning Act of Ontario, it has removed third-party appeals rights for minor variances, and if this committee approves this project, us neighbors and community groups are legally blocked from appealing the decision to the TLAB, the Toronto Local Body Appeal Board. A full rezoning process carries significantly broader public appeal triggers, which the developer is actively trying to avoid. If we strictly talk numbers, the metrics that we're speaking about are staggering. They are seeking an FSI that represents a 200+% density spike over the legal 0.6 limit, while requesting a 100% reduction in required parking. This isn't minor relief. It is a wholesale rezoning of a single residential lot through the back door. For the last 25 years, there has been one person living on that property, and I am with Erica. We fully support that Mimico is a specially designated zone, and we have these, Mr. Taylor, I understand what you're talking about, the legalization of these garden suites, but it's failing to be in the real world and what's happening in Mimico. The school zone safety crisis. The technical failures of this application create immediate dangers. 140 sits directly across the street from a local school and only 1 block from another. I literally witness hundreds of children coming and going to St. Leo's and John English daily, and right in front of this project is where the children get off the bus, and if you've seen the hundreds of children, they cross illegally, and any one of them could get hit. This is a high-activity student corridor and a primary school bus loading, drop-off, and pickup zone. By providing 0 on-site parking spaces, the developer is creating an unmitigated traffic crisis. Overflow cars will inundate our already maxed out street network, narrowing the road, blocking sight lines for parents, and restricting the turning radius required for large school buses.
Okay, I think your time is up. You can wrap up.
Okay. The proposal fails every benchmark of good planning. It does not respect or reinforce the historical character of Mimico, and I respectfully urge the committee to refuse this application. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Before you go, we might have some questions or comments.
Certainly.
I'll just repeat my comment that garden suites are allowed in all neighborhoods in the city, notwithstanding impacts on school boards and a number of issues. They're just allowed. And if they meet all the zoning requirements, they don't require a minor variance. This one does require a variance. They want to have a side yard that much less than the bylaw permits. So I just wanted to put that sort of into context, why Mr. Race is here and what our role is and what the city policy background is. So
I understand. I think I would just like it to be noted that, again, it was very difficult to see anything online, and there has been no posting on the actual structure, so it's been impossible to see what the plan was.
Okay, yeah, that's, don't know anything about that, but yeah, that's problematic.
Yeah.
But you did get maybe you didn't. Did you get the paper notice mailed?
Yes.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Mr. Race, you have a 5-minute opportunity to rebut the remarks of the two folks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just quickly note the sign posting requirements were met. I believe Mr. Paolo was referring to posting of drawings, is my assumption. And to further your comment on the policy background here, Mr. Chair, I'll first reiterate both of these buildings have permits issued, including the garden suite in its full form. The variance here is to add the window to the wall that is approved, so the built form is unchanged as a result of this compared to what's currently entering construction. The garden suite policy was approved by council in 2022 citywide. As you mentioned, the fourplex, OPA, and ZBA were approved in 2023. The protected major transit station area overlay for this area was approved last summer. And I think that's a really important factor to keep in mind, that the city's growth plan currently does envision areas adjacent to GO stations, such as this, as targeted density zones. There is a forthcoming zoning bylaw amendment that will likely be heard by council this fall or winter that will likely increase permitted height to 13 meters or 4 stories. That's already a targeted goal in the official plans, so this is an area where density is being targeted. I'll quickly note, although parking is not a question today, a permanent parking space is being provided on the site, as is a temporary / visitor parking space in the front yard, which actually is unusual for our multiplex applications. Typically, they are devoid of all on-site parking, but in this case, parking is provided. With respect to the requirements of a zoning bylaw amendment that would not apply to a development of this scale, there are still requirements for stormwater management studies that our project had to undergo in order to get water service approved here. That is not a question for today, but stormwater and civil management was undertaken as part of this application. Finally, I think Ms. Aucoin brought up a good point about impact on rear yard use. That is also a concern for us. The reason the zoning bylaw assumes a 1.5 meter separation or setback when there is a side window is to enhance that privacy. Because we're only 1.2 meters, we do agree that some controls should be put in place, guardrails, if you will, to allow for 3 livable bedrooms to have windows, and exceed that bylaw requirement should also require control of what that window looks like. As I mentioned in my presentation, I recommend at least a condition for a minimum sill height of 1.5 meters above floor level, ensuring that views are not down into adjacent backyards, but only up to the sky for daylighting and controlled views only. This is a bedroom, so we're not expecting living space or daytime use to occur here. And or a condition tying the approval to substantial conformance with the east elevation. We hope that that's an appropriate balance between all of these requirements and will ensure that this family-focused 3-bedroom unit will be optimized for the site. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Race. Panel questions, comments?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions, if I may, Mr. Chair. Want to get some clarification on your site plan. Because one of them shows that you're providing a parking space in the back, but the other one, it's not clear how far that driveway extends. Because on A04, you're showing a hashed area as driveway, but that terminates just shortly beyond the front face of the property. Is that driveway going to extend into the parking space at the rear?
Yes, sir. And through the chair, A04 has an overlay to indicate the measured areas of certain landscape elements that are really bylaw calculations. A03 is probably the best plan to look at. where you'll see the driveway extends all the way through to a parking space behind.
Yeah, and that's what I
Multiplex.
assumed you were doing, but I just wanted you to verbally confirm that that's in fact what you're proposing.
I confirm that, sir.
Okay. Because essentially you can park more than one vehicle if you're doing them in tandem then, right?
Yes, that is theoretically correct.
Okay. And with regards to the east elevation condition that you're proposing, I'm just wondering how you would feel about if we include a frosted or opaque condition to that window as well.
We would prefer that to not be the case. Views of the sky would be a welcome addition to this bedroom. If the committee insists on it to approve this, we will accept it, but we feel controlling sill height is the optimal approach to ensuring no overlook.
Okay, so 1.4, what is that in feet? Because I'm still an old guy.
1.5 meters is approximately 5 feet, sir.
Okay, so I'm 6'2", and you know I've got a transom window in my bathroom addition, and when I walk up to it, I can see into my neighbor's backyard.
This would be above a headboard of a bedroom, so I'm not sure that's an active concern. However, if 1.8 meters is preferred, we'd be open to that as well. I think our point is just a view of sky is preferred, and we're more than happy to commit to control of that to ensure we're not looking down into rear yards.
Okay, that's why I wanted to have the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else, panel? Okay, take your seat, Mr. Race. Thank you very much. And I think we can now go into committee for some discussion if we require it, and ultimately a motion.
Okay, well, I can kick off a little bit of discussion. I mean, essentially what we have here is a virtually bylaw compliant application with the exception of the window, which triggers a setback variance. I think if the window wasn't there, you know, they could be as close as they are right now. If they were to set back to the required setback, that window would still have an effect of privacy on the neighbor's property. I don't think that distance makes much of a difference for viewing. So I think what they've presented us with having to come here with a variance gives us an opportunity to control how that window is situated. Anyway, that's my comment.
Mr. Chair,
Anyone else, panel?
I have a
Yes.
comment. I agree
Yep.
with I agree with these comments. As to speaking to the window, I understand the notion of seeing the sky as opposed to an opaque glass, but I also am sympathetic to the height. So the comment of 1.8 lower sill level, which the agent appeared to be speaking on behalf of the owner, would be agreeable, and I think better aesthetically for the considerations of the height of the window and the neighbor.
Okay. Anything else? Ms. Reddick, Mr. Adams? Comments, questions? You're good?
So for those of us who are still stuck in the old stuff, 1.8 meters is just under 6 feet.
So you'd have to be 6'8" or so to be able to peer through. Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to comment that our hands are tied in terms of addressing the majority of concerns that are raised in the opposition letter, and unfortunately we're tied to just looking at the narrow application before us, dealing with that one narrow issue. And certainly, if personally, I would say if I had more leeway, I wouldn't necessarily be in support of this. But looking at the narrow application before me, I don't see really any grounds, despite my reservations, to not approve it. And so,
Does raising the minimum height of the windowsill comfort you at all?
I'm fine either way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm with it. So
Okay.
But I hear the concerns of the neighbors, and I certainly would probably have written my own letter to that effect. But unfortunately, our hands are tied.
Exactly. Yeah, we hear and understand that there's a lot of people have an issue with the city's policy. However, it's city policy, and we can't ignore that, so. But we can mitigate where possible, and perhaps we're contemplating that. I don't know, maybe I'll invite a motion and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm prepared to do a motion. I believe we have no choice but to approve this, given the fact that it is very minor in relation to what the zoning bylaw states currently. So I would move a motion to approve. However, I would like to change, or I would like to restrict the window to be a minimum of 1.8 meters above interior finished floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Komorek.
The window on the east elevation.
Right.
Is that both on the main floor and second floor, or just the second floor?
Just the second floor. The main floor window, I believe the second floor is cantilevered, right? Yeah, so that one actually complies.
Yeah.
It's the second floor that there's bigger concern with overlook.
Right.
I mean, the ground floor is likely going to look at a fence, so. That would be my motion.
Thank you, Mr. Komorek. Is there a seconder for Mr. Komorek's motion?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All in favor? That's approved unanimously. Thank you to Mr. Race and the neighbors. Item 7 has been deferred, so we can move on to item 8, 44 Yorkview Drive. We have, let's just describe it a little bit here. Purpose is to construct a new detached dwelling with an attached garage. There's one variance. We have 3 support letters and a letter of concern from number 36 Yorkview. And we also have, I'm not sure if it's the same person or not, Ira Bernstein. No, Ira Bernstein's at 42, immediate neighbor, has registered to speak. And the agent is Antonella Wild.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. Just give us your, your name, confirm your name and give us your address, and then tell us about your application.
Okay, my name is Antonella Wild, 12 Holloway Road. So the application, as you see, we're requesting one variance for these floor space index. We are over that index by about 0.12, which amounts to 62.5 square meters, which we feel is minor in nature and obviously in keeping with the pattern of development in the neighborhood. As you see, we have a few letters of support as well as no comments from community planning, and we feel it's good development for this property. I'm happy to answer questions or address any concern the neighbor may have.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Panel, any questions for Ms. Wild?
Sure, if I may.
Yep.
So I noticed from the photos submitted that the footings have already been poured. I'm assuming that was done under permit, and I would like to find out why you're now coming for a variance. Are you doing something different from what was originally issued under permit?
Yes. So we applied for a permit to construct a one-story structure and received a permit on June 8th of this year. So construction began for the foundation work, all site work, and it has been framed up to the level of the first floor ceiling. In other words, if you drove by there today, it is still a bungalow. We submitted an application to revise the proposal to add a second story. At that point, it noted that we need an FSI variance, and that is why we're coming here today with only that variance. As you see, all the setbacks, coverage, etc., complied. We've obviously considered of the height variance, et cetera, and that's why we have the one variance you see.
So you originally applied for a single story, and then you've, after receiving permit, you've amended that to a 2-story.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question? The letter of concern from 36 Yorkview Drive. Oh, okay. Is there anything else, panel? Okay, then let's invite Ira Bernstein is registered to speak to us today. Is Ms. Bernstein available? Yeah.
It's Mr.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Yes, so I'm the owner of 42 Yorkview for the past 10 years. I am not opposed to the project at all. The only concern that I raise is regarding bedroom number 2 window on the east side, which is facing, I'm not sure exactly how close to a secondary bathroom on my second floor. So just to clarify the issues of privacy between both homes, to make sure that there aren't any issues, that was the only concern that I have.
Okay, panel, any questions? I think we can get Ms. Wild to address.
No, I guess the only question I would have is, what would you recommend or ask as a mitigating factor for that?
Yeah, I'm not sure there is anything that can be done unless the bedroom window is, I guess, elevated as they are on the other side of the home to, mitigate some of the privacy concerns. I don't know how low the length of the window and the sight lines, impacting views to the bathroom in my eyes.
Okay. Just trying to find the.
Otherwise, I'm fine with the plans.
So, and sorry, you're to the east or west?
I'm to the east.
Okay, so
I'm 42.
East elevation. Hold on.
Are you okay, Mr. Cora?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to find the east elevation to see what's shown there. Okay, thank you.
All righty. Anything else from the panel by way of question or comment at this point? Okay. Let's invite Ms. Wild back then to answer Mr. Bernstein's question.
Okay, I'd like to thank Mr. Bernstein for coming. I think, as you can imagine, it's there's not much that can be done. The sill height is 42 inches above the floor, which is already a little higher than we would normally put. The bedroom is totally on that side of the house, and obviously by code, we need a window. So we can't move it to another face of the building. I mean, it's certainly a problem that occurs all the time in an urban setting where a window is overlooking. Obviously, we don't have a side yard setback, and it's unfortunate. I mean, the only thing I can do, I can't suggest we make any changes because I'd have to speak to the owner, but I don't know if there is an opportunity. Maybe there's an opportunity to divide that area into 2 separate windows and put them on either side of the room, with the bed in the middle. Like, it's maybe, depending upon where the bathroom window is, maybe just moving it a foot or 2 over could help. And that would have to be a conversation between neighbors. I can't really offer anything, not even knowing where the bathroom window is right now.
Questions, comments, panel?
So what I'm understanding is that you really don't know how it lines up to the existing window next door at this point.
I do not know.
Okay. But you're offering some kind of endeavor to discuss with the neighbor to see if it can be shifted a little bit one way or the other.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, usually you would frost a bathroom window, so that's an option for the neighbor as well, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, except theirs already exists, so the onus usually goes on the one who's asking for the variances. But
Okay, is there anything else? Okay, I think we can go into committee then for some discussion if we need it, and a motion.
Unless there are any other comments, I believe that in this particular case, the minor variance sought is minor, is consistent with the 4 tests. I would like to move approval. I understand the concerns of the neighbor, and I appreciate that the Madam Agent has indicated that some conversation could take place. That's beyond our jurisdiction to impose, but certainly that would be a neighborly thing to do. I don't see any conditions or departmental comments, so I would move to approve on that basis.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. Is there a seconder for Ms. Popovic's motion?
Sure, I'll second that with the encouragement of the applicant to speak with the neighbor to try to deal with the window issue.
Yeah, and I would agree with that sentiment as well. So, all in favor? It's approved unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Wild. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein. Now move to item 9, 61 Redgrave Drive. Purpose is to construct a 1-story rear addition. The altered dwelling will be converted into a duplex. There's one condition. We have an MTO advisory. No other agency or department concerns or conditions. And we have one letter of opposition from 63 Redgrave, the immediate neighbor. So let's invite the agent, Shams Saeed.
Good afternoon.
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Chair, this is Shams Sayed from
Yeah,
McQuaid's
good
Inc., 6
afternoon.
Ripon Street.
Yeah, if you could just, I guess in light of the fact that there's an opposition letter, if you could make a brief presentation. It's a pretty straightforward application, but we're going to be inviting, no, I guess we're not. Anyway, typically when there's opposition, we ask for brief presentations at minimum. So if you could do that.
For sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The application before the committee is where we're seeking a minor variance for lot coverage. The bylaw allows a maximum lot coverage of 35%. However, a total lot coverage of 41.4% is being requested. Now, the proposed extension that is being proposed on the property is a single-story addition to the back or rear yard of the property. The existing dwelling itself is 21.92% of the lot coverage, whereas the proposed extension is 13.03% of the lot coverage, which cumulatively gives us a total coverage of 34.96%, which meets the zoning bylaw requirements of 35% lot coverage. The reason we're here before the committee is because there are 2 existing sheds in the backyard. One, cumulatively, both the sheds have a lot coverage of 6.42%. Which is why we have a total lot coverage of 41.4%. Now, I did read the letter of opposition from the neighbor, and we would like to point out that the city does not require building permits for sheds which are non-habitable up to 15 square meters. So the smaller shed is less than 15 square meters, and the other shed, which is an existing shed on the property, is at 15.92, if I'm not mistaken. So it's slightly above what's required. So if the city deems that a building permit is required for that shed, the owner has conveyed to me that we would get a building permit if required, or reduce the shed by that minor amount so that a building permit is not required. So essentially, the variances that are being requested are so that those sheds can still remain in place. Those are storage sheds. Those are not habitable sheds, and they're only used for storage. There's no windows or anything overlooking the neighbors. And just to point out, the neighboring properties 63 and 65 are more further into their backyards than our property. And our addition is only a single story addition, and this will facilitate the homeowners to have an additional dwelling unit on that level, which is not a separate unit, it is within the building. So we feel that the variance before the committee today does meet the four tests of the Planning Act and is minor in nature. And we request the committee to kindly consider and approve this application. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Said. Are there any questions or comments, panel?
I have a few, if you may, Mr. Chair.
Yep, go.
First off, I want to clarify the city bylaw. I believe my understanding of the bylaw with regards to sheds is it's up to 100 square feet, which would be 10 square meters, not 15 square meters. Do you guys know, or?
Yeah, I thought it was 10 too.
Because that's what I went by when I built mine. And I would further suggest that the bylaw also specifies that you're allowed one shed per property, irrespective of the size. So in either case, did you get a zoning review for this?
For you, Mr. Chair, so the application did go through a zoning review, which is through which we got the comments from the city. And the only variance that they requested was for the 35, for the lot coverage. And we didn't receive any comments further regarding to the existing sheds on the property.
Okay. And are you saying that if you remove the small one, you would be compliant with coverage, or if you had to, would you have to remove the large one?
We'd have to remove both, through you, Mr. Chair, because right now with the proposed extension, we are at 34.96%. So that is, so the dwelling itself with the proposed addition would not go over the requirements of the zoning bylaw. It's just the existing sheds which go over the lot coverage.
Okay. So the larger shed, are you saying that there was a building permit acquired for it?
I am not aware of that at this point, if it was done with the building permit or not.
Okay, so I would suspect not. Anyway, so I could be wrong because it's been a few years since I've looked into this, but when I did, my understanding is one shed up to 100 square feet or 10 square feet. Well, I guess now it would be 10 square meters.
I've never heard of just one shed because we've seen multiple. And the website says the shed is exempt if it's not more than 15 square meters.
Oh, so they have changed it to 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. In any case, one of them is still larger than 15 square meters. And you're saying both of these are strictly for storage?
For you, Mr. Chair, yes, that is the case. And the one which is a slightly bigger than 15 square meters is just decimal points bigger. So if required be, we can alter that and make it 15.
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about that. It's the overall coverage. I don't like to see more than 40% coverage. So I'm just trying to, anyway. Those are my questions and concerns. Thank you.
Anything else, panel? Okay, then I think we can now go into committee for a motion.
Well, unless there are any other comments from my colleagues, taking into consideration the updates on the size of the shed and the lot coverage, I believe on balance this application does comply and is consistent with the four tests. I see an MTO advisory comment and no other comments, and would move to approve on that basis.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. Is there a seconder for Ms. Popovic's motion?
Sure, I will second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, the motion to approve carries by a vote of 4-1.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Said. We can now move on to item 10. 74 Beaumond Heights Drive. Purpose is to construct a new detached dwelling with an attached garage and a deck in the rear yard. There are 4 variances. We have TRCA is okay with the application. Ravine and Natural Features has requested deferral on the basis or on grounds that in their opinion, this is an incomplete Committee of Adjustment application. Or, in the alternative, approve subject to submission of a complete application for a permit to injure or remove a privately owned tree. So, panel, is this sufficient enough to proceed without a presentation? We're all good with that? So the agent, let's speak with Mr. Dev Kulkarni, the agent.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. You just give us your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Dev Kulkarni. My address is 2122 Binbrook Drive.
And is that in the city of Oshawa?
It is in city of Oshawa.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, we've just discussed and agreed that your application is quite straightforward. We don't really need a presentation unless you wish to make one. But in the alternative, we could just have you answer questions if we have any.
Sure, of course.
We'll do that?
Yes.
Okay, then, okay, so panel, any questions or comments from the agent? And then we'll have to talk about RNFP, but. Nothing? Okay, let me just, before we go into committee here. Mr. Kulkarni, without prejudice, would you be agreeable to the Ravine and Natural Features Protection Department's condition that you apply for a permit to injure or remove a privately owned tree?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I didn't understand the question.
Okay, there's a department in the city called Ravine and Natural Features Protection.
Okay.
They have asked us to consider doing one of 2 things. One, defer because they say your application is incomplete. I'm suspecting that you would disagree with that and you would not want to be deferred. But they've also offered an alternative, which is for us to approve your application, subject to submission of a complete application for permit to injure or remove a privately owned tree. My question is, in the event of approval, would you be agreeable to a condition along those lines?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So let's go into committee then.
Just before we do,
I'd
like to also point out that RNFP is also providing advisory comments to the applicant that they may turn down their application even if we approve it. I just want to know whether he's aware of that he's going to have to work with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of their standard wording, isn't it?
They actually have specific concerns set out in their
Yeah.
report.
Okay, so sir, are you aware of the Ravine and Natural Features communication with us? And
I'm
also
not aware
to
of
you.
that, Mr. Chair, but we would definitely like to basically speak to them and whatever.
Yeah,
is
pay
required.
close attention to their advisory comments.
Sure.
And you've already.
Test, test. Hi everyone, sorry for the delay. We're just having a little bit of a technical issue. We'll resume once that's resolved. Thank you.
Want to do the motion on this one?
No, we're on 10.
Well, there's the feedback.
Check.
Turn off this red one. Even though it's red, turn it off. Yeah. Your own special green one. But get back.
Isn't this lovely?
Okay.
What's it?
Now it works.
Hello, okay. So I'm sorry, I don't handle disruption very well. Where were we?
Item 10, we're going into committee.
Okay, we're going into committee, so do we need to have any discussion?
I don't think so.
Comments? Nothing. Then let's,
There was a motion.
There was
oh,
no
there's already a see? There's already a motion. Yes. Ms. Popovics, correct?
No one made a motion.
I didn't think so. Could we have a motion on item 10?
Do we have to come up to the mic to make a motion?
Go do it then.
Okay, but I can't on my.
No.
Does he have to turn off his mic? We'll see if it echoes.
Let's see.
Try your unmute.
I'm unmuted now.
Cool.
Okay, okay.
Mute what? Okay.
Are you muted?
Okay. But I'm echoing. Only one person can unmute.
No, that's all right. Okay.
Okay. It's a feedback.
You want me to turn it off?
So make the motion.
Okay.
Go ahead. Better than zero.
For this application. You just keep talking. To approve on the basis. And the comments and advisory by Ravine Department. I move to approve.
Subject to condition.
Yeah, condition for Ravine. Yes, okay.
Condition 2.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic and Mr. Komorek. All in favor? The application is approved unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just give them a few minutes, like, don't break. We've got that one closer, right?
Should we,
Someone's on it, so.
So we have to wait?
Did they know that it's not okay?
There's a
No,
thumb up.
It's not, it's not okay. YouTube,
Oh, we're good.
We're back on
Okay,
YouTube.
we're good to go.
Don't go catch the introduction. No. To start over?
We're just live now, essentially.
So do I have to pretend what we said before was never said, or got to do the whole thing? Okay. So nobody heard what I said before. Yeah.
just what it's about.
No.
I think it's
So-
faster to just do it than to have the conversation about it.
What's that?
I think it's just faster.
Just read the intro down.
I'm going to pretend I've been asleep for the last 10 minutes. And for the very first time, I'm going to address item 11, 21 Inchcliffe Crescent. Purpose is to construct a second-story addition above the existing dwelling and an attached garage. There are three variances. Thank you. We have no agency or departmental concerns or issues. We have 6 letters of support, and in additional material, we received a surrounding neighborhood decision to support what's being proposed before us today. The owner agent is Danielle Cohen. Ms. Cohen, can I just ask you to confirm that you're agreeable to proceeding on the basis of answering any questions that we may have?
Yes, confirmed.
Thank you. Panel, I understand you have no questions or comments to make, so let's move into committee for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move, I'd like to move, I believe the application meets the 4 tests and would like to move approval with no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Kamork. Is there a seconder for Mr.
I'll
Kamork?
second that.
Thank you. Is that Ms. Reddick? Yep. All in favor? That's unanimously approved. Thank you, Ms. Cohen.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
So that concludes our regular business. Now we have other business around deferred applications and files to be closed, et cetera.
And Mr. Chairman, there's also an official refund request
Yes.
as well. And we have a speaker for that refund request present in the chamber.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's handy. Yeah.
I'm aware.
Perfect. Okay, can I ask for Ms. Bartozik's guidance on which category we?
So first, Mr. Chair, we have the first category under item 3, or other business. There's an additional file to be closed that's requested by the applicant. It was previously on the list to keep open. So the 3 that we can have one motion is 15 Darien Court, A30622 EYK, 15 Allen Avenue, A1420 EYK, and 2 and 10 Audley, 2931 and 59 Portland, Block E, A30523 EYK. We just need one motion to close these files. A warning letter was sent out. These applicants have requested that the files be closed. No refund will be issued in accordance with the refund policy.
Okay, so let's just stop and consider and decide on those for now. And we're not inviting anybody to speak to any of these. Is that correct, Ms. Bartozik? We don't need to speak to anyone about these. So
I'm ready for a motion.
you're ready to make a motion?
Yeah. Motion to close the 3 files as noted as requested by the applicant.
Is there a seconder for Ms. Reddick's motion?
Yeah,
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Mr. Adams, thank you. All in favor? Okay, those items have been, those files have been closed then. So Ms. Bartozik, our next category?
So the next category is no response to the warning letter. There is one issue before we go into that motion. There was a deadline to submit a response to our warning letter. The last file in that category, 24 Fairfield Avenue, did not respond to by the deadline. They're asking to speak. Do you want to consider that, or do you want to close it as part of the batch since they did not follow instructions and respond by the deadline in our notice?
Panel, what is our wish? Do we wish to hear from the agent or owner of 24 Fairfield Avenue? Ms. Popovic, any?
I'm torn because deadlines exist for a reason.
Yeah, sure.
And there was full notice and ample.
We gave them approximately a month to respond.
Okay, can I just suggest that we do this in a way that reflects the way we normally do business? I'm going to call for a motion to either hear or not hear the applicant agent for 24 Fairfield Avenue. So let's just have a motion to either hear that person or not.
The agent, I believe, if it is it,
They will get to speak if the committee decides to not close the file.
they asked me if they're present.
Okay.
And
Right now, I need the committee to decide, is this part of the bulk motion or no?
Right. So that's the motion. It's part of the bulk list as stated in the agenda, or it's not, in which case we
deal with it separately.
We'll deal with it separately, yeah.
So I'll move a motion to deal with it separately.
Seconder for that?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, that barely carries by a vote of 3-2.
Okay, so we'll leave that one.
We'll leave that one out.
We can do the rest in one motion. I'll read all the addresses publicly.
That'd be wonderful.
170 Lake Promenade, 55 42nd Street, 3 Hertzberg Gardens, 2728 to 2730 Jane Street, 9 Garden Place, 13 Artec Court, 2 Hilldale Road, 483 Evans Avenue, 1047 Weston Road, 0 Springwood Drive, for clarity, AE 087018 EYK, 11 Garden Place, 515 and 529 Longview Drive, 11 Terry Ellen Crescent, 1010 Albion Road, 39 Lauder Avenue, 518 Prince Edward Drive North, 2337 to 2343 Keel Street, brackets 36 Colville Road, 105 Elmhurst Drive, 7 Elton Crescent. So the motion would be the files be closed as indicated in the letter issued to the applicant. No application fee will be refunded in accordance with the refund policy.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, just for clarification purposes, I just want to note that it's 17 Artec Road. I think the Secretary Treasurer may have referred to it as 70. Oh, okay. I misheard then.
Okay.
I'll move a motion to close all those files.
As per Ms. Bartosic's wording?
Yes.
Okay, is there a seconder for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. Ruddock. All in favor? Okay, those listed files are closed due to no response to warning letters. So now let's move to 24 Fairfield Avenue, which has been removed from that list for separate consideration. And I understand the owner applicant would like to address us because they wish to have their file remain open. So do we have that person available to speak to us?
So just to clarify, before any of the agents speak on those requests, for the files to remain open, there has to be movement on the files. They can't be left open indefinitely. So any motion to maintain the next 4 files, should the committee go in that direction, is that the file remain open to provide the applicant with an opportunity to submit all required materials no later than October 31st, 2026 with the Committee of Adjustment Office. Otherwise, the file shall be deemed closed with no further notice to the applicant. No application fee will be refunded in accordance with the refund policy. So the required materials are anything that is necessary for us to be able to schedule. So no further delays, no extensions to that date, should the committee grant any further extensions to the following files. So yes, 24.
Okay, so that's going to apply to 24 Fairfield and the other 4 that which we'll deal with.
3.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Darien's out. Darien's. What happened to Darien? Did we just close it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, good. So it's the other 3. Yeah, that's right. Additional information. Oh my God. Okay, so 24 Fairfield Avenue. Do we have an applicant or an owner or an agent?
Mr. Chair, if that is Adam Brander, then they are unmuted and they are here virtually.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Can you hear
Good
me?
afternoon. So could you just tell us your name and address?
Certainly. My name is Adam Brander from Brander Architects. Our address is 260 Carlos, Suite 202D.
Okay, thank you. So I understand your, well, you know your file is on a list of files to be closed due to no response to a warning letter. And I understand that you wish to have your file remain open. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And did you listen to our Deputy Secretary Treasurer on the stipulations that we would require if we decided to keep this file open?
I did hear the conditions mentioned by staff,
So-
and that would be acceptable should you decide to keep it open.
It would be acceptable to get all those materials in. And is it the hearing date that has to happen before October 28th or just the submission date? Okay, and I guess, yeah, you'll have to tell us why. You got a warning letter, nothing happened, and last minute you want to be kept open. Just explain, rationalize, justify this decision or request.
Certainly. Yeah, as mentioned, not here today for a hearing, just to request the deferral file be kept open. Our application was listed under files to be closed, warning letter, portion of the table. A response was provided to the application technician requesting the deferred file be kept open. It was about a month ago. The technician mentioned that it was actually one day after the stipulated deadline, but he did say we'd have a chance to come before the committee and ask that it be kept open. I do apologize that the dormant file cleanup was a new process to us, so its initiation was a little unexpected at first. I apologize for that. But yeah, the conditions mentioned by staff are acceptable, and I'd appreciate if we could proceed with that.
Were you prompted to have that conversation with staff by that warning letter? And you just missed the date?
We provided a letter, and then staff followed up with some email correspondence and a phone call.
When did you provide when did you provide the letter as it relates to the deadline date?
It was July 28th. It was a few hours late, I think, or within 24 hours of deadline that we became aware of.
Okay, panel, any other questions, comments? Okay, so I guess we need a motion to either allow the deferral subject to the stipulations set out by the Secretary Treasurer, or deny the request and close the file. Yeah, defer with stipulations, or close. Those are the two options.
I'm fine deferring with the conditions of the other 3 files as well, and putting this one with the others.
Okay, so you're just foretelling your preference for the other three. We're just gonna deal with the Fairfield right now.
Okay, we're just doing Fairfield.
Yeah.
I'm fine with dealing with Fairfield and the manner proposed for the others as well, with the conditions outlined by the deputy registrar.
Okay. Is there a seconder for Ms. Reddick's motion?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. So by a very slim vote of 3-2, it has been agreed to defer your application subject to the stipulations set out by the Deputy Secretary Treasurer. So your submission deadline is October the 28th, 2026.
October 31st, I thought you said.
October 20th.
31st. She
Halloween.
said the 31st. Yeah.
Halloween day. Get your application on before you put your mask on.
Thank you. Happy Halloween.
October 31st is a Saturday.
Uh-oh.
November 2nd?
Okay.
Okay, sir, your deadline date to resubmit is November the 2nd, 2026.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have now another same rationale, same category.
So I can move for the other three as well now? Do we need to
They
repeat
all
it?
We have speakers.
Oh, I thought there's
Yeah,
people.
No, we have
speaking to it?
speakers, yes.
Oh, okay, we have
So-
speakers for them? Okay.
Yeah, for 96 Rivalda Road, this file should have been closed in 2024 through inadvertence of staff. They didn't read the materials in the file correctly, and a warning letter should not have gone out. So my request to the committee is to close this file because it shouldn't be here today, but we do have the agent here who can speak to you on their rationale of why it
Okay.
should be kept open, even though it was officially closed by you 2 years ago.
So, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, so
members of the committee. The reason.
your name and address?
Giuseppe DeMarco, 1575 Lawrence Avenue West, Toronto. Application has been delayed due to the fact that my client has been hospitalized. He had serious issues. He's back down to earth, and we're requesting that this application proceed. We are working on the application. We have revised plans, but we were advised that we would have to come and speak to the committee regarding this information. And again, it was out of our control. The client had major issues, medical, and again, he's back to earth. So I'm asking this committee to allow this application to proceed.
Okay, now, as you heard from the Deputy Secretary Treasurer, this application has actually been closed. It's already been closed.
Oh,
So, I just want to, I want to talk to my colleagues and Ms. Bartosik about this. Would not an appropriate option be, if it's already closed, it's closed? Yeah. Here's my question. In light of the fact that it has been closed, could the best option, maybe only option, be to reapply?
Yes.
Which has the same, I think, impact on financially.
No, it's not.
Well, yeah, you're right.
you would have to pay for the application fee again. Which is,
So our alternative would be to undo the closed status?
I mean, technically it shouldn't. The problem is we issued a letter
Yeah,
which gave false hope to the applicant that the file was still open. So in May of probably April of 2024, we issued a warning letter. Someone did attend the hearing, and you were given a deadline of August 9th, 2024. And if that material wasn't submitted, the file would have been closed. Unfortunately, no one followed up in our office to actually physically close the file. But you were already provided with that opportunity to submit the required material in 2024, and that wasn't done. So this file should be closed today.
Could I ask?
Yep.
Did the 2024 letter advising was closed, did it have the wording of no further notice as we had earlier
Yes, so the
today?
motion was that the file remain open to provide the applicant with an opportunity to submit all required materials no later than August 9th, 2024 with the Committee of Adjustment Office. Otherwise, the file shall be deemed closed with no further notice to the applicant. No application fee will be refunded in accordance with the refund policy.
And that's consistent wording that the city used?
Yes.
Thank you.
So it seems to me the position we're in, possibly, we have different views here, but my thinking is the best course would be to close the application again and invite the agent to reapply and incur the costs associated with new applications. I'm not asking, I'm looking at you, but I'm talking to everybody but you. So anyway, let's have a motion on this one then. 96 Rivalda Road.
Can we have a little bit of discussion?
Sure.
So the only issue is that we sent out a letter saying that it will be closed if you don't chime up, yet it actually was closed. Is that-
Yeah.
It was not closed. It wasn't closed.
Well,
It was closed by the committee. Committee staff just didn't update our computer system.
it was closed by virtue of the fact that nothing was submitted by the deadline that was set out at the last motion.
Correct.
And we closed it.
We, the committee.
This committee closed it.
Well, this committee put the motion out that it will be closed if there's no response, and there was no response. And now, in error, this got caught as part of the cleanup letter that went out this year.
And proper notice was given that it would be closed in May of 2024.
Yes.
August.
At the
August of
hearing.
2024.
Well, at the hearing in May.
At the hearing.
Yeah.
And the language that you read to us.
Yes.
So it was like an administrative glitch or hiccup
Cleanup, yes.
that it came back on.
I don't see we have a choice but to deem it closed.
And then the applicant could decide on whether or not to reapply. De novo kind of thing, yeah. So that's your motion? Close the file.
Does anyone have anything else to add?
So if you look this up online at the time, like say in 2025, would it still have shown open? I know you're saying technically you didn't close it, but in terms of public facing, what did the public see? Did the public see it as closed or open?
Probably open.
Okay. To me, then it's open. It wasn't closed.
So if we were to look it up on the online system, it would be showing as an open file. Yeah.
But it shouldn't say that, anyway. So we have a motion to close the file. Is there a
I'll second that
You'll
motion.
second that?
Yeah, and one of the considerations in the bigger picture is that it hasn't been a week or a month, it's been 2 years of the closed status as far as the decision of the panel.
Yeah.
And then an administrative follow-up was
Yeah,
the
it's a long
missing.
time. Okay, so we have a motion to close that has been duly seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, opposed. So by vote of 4-1, sir, your file has been closed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your option going forward for you to consider is whether or not you want to reapply. I think the legal term is de novo from the start.
Yep.
As if it's a brand new matter. It is a brand new matter now because this is closed. Okay, so
Thank you.
sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
So the next request to keep a deferred file open is regarding 627 Albion Road. Do we have a speaker for that one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the speaker is Manpreet Kohli. They are online.
Okay. So let's.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
everybody.
good afternoon. Give us your name and address,
My name
please.
Manpreet Kohli, 66 Henmount Drive, Brampton.
Okay, and why would you like us to keep your deferred file open?
Yeah, we are actively working on it. We applied for ZAP, like a zoning review, and in the zoning review report, we received that an external agency's approval is also required, like in TRCA, and we are going to apply for that. And as soon as we get their approval or whatever their comments are, we will let this committee know, and then we'll move forward with that. We are working on this.
So you're working on this sort of very recently or as we speak?
Yeah.
It's not something you stopped doing a year or two ago. You're actively trying to get this back on the in front of the committee.
Yes, we are working on it, and the other thing is we applied for some to widen the driveway, but along with that issue, we were advised there might be other one or two issues, the zoning matters which will require minor variances. So we are working and discussing with our client, and we are working to address those issues as well. But we are actively working to get the TRC approval and get back in touch with the zoning review and with the committee as well.
Okay, panel, any questions or comments for the applicant or agent?
Question, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Mr. Agent, I had trouble hearing all of your submissions. Can you clarify? Did you say you're waiting for an external third-party comment? Did I hear that?
Yeah, it's an authority, Toronto Regional Conservation Authority, since our lot falls under that Toronto Regional
TRCA.
Conservation Authority.
You can apply without
TRCA.
that.
That's a city. That's not an external third party. Am I right?
No, it is an external third party.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else?
But that doesn't preclude them from filing their application. That's a separate process.
No. Our zoning review, as per our zoning review letter, what we received, they need the TRCA comments as well.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
No, what's the original deferral date for this one? Okay, so it's not long ago.
Sir, could you meet a November the 2nd, 2026 deadline for a complete submission?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, if there are no other questions, let's go into committee.
Okay, I'll move a motion to extend the deferral with the deadline of submission for November 2nd, 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Kamark. Is there a seconder for that motion?
Yep, I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, by unanimous decision, your deferred file will be kept open until November 2nd, 2026, by which you will have made a complete submission to this committee. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, last on this list is a request to keep a deferred file open, being 12 Anglesey Boulevard.
For this one, Mr. Chair, earlier we had Mark Saunders, the agent, on multiple. I guess I see him back on again. Okay, so Mark Saunders is here.
Okay.
He called back in.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. You just
Hi.
repeat your name, give us your address, and then tell us why you want us to keep the file open.
Right. Mark Saunders, 12 Anglesey Boulevard, Etobicoke. And yes, so I have basically the issue for me is it's funding, and it's dependent on the market for rental housing to be firmed up. behind all this is the market uncertainty with tariffs and whatnot. So I'm in process of financing, but that's the issue right there. It's dependent on what's going on with with that. So it's quite a sizable application, as you can see.
Are you the owner or agent?
I'm the owner.
Okay.
Yes. That's right.
So you're between Royal York and the Kingsway?
That's right.
Okay. Panel, questions, comments?
Sure. I believe the request that Mr. Saunders was putting in was asking till November of 2029, which I don't think we're in a position to do. So what about November of this year?
Well, honestly, there's a couple of things running with this. One of the reasons I'm trying to broker a deal with my existing financing company is that I'm in the middle of the term, which comes up in November of 2029. I'm trying to get another mortgage on it, but to do that, it's a very arduous process. I've already spent a lot of money on appraisals and do a re-environmental phase 1 and 2 audit, which I can confirm with the board, the panel there.
Sir, your application was deferred in September of 2024 to consult with Planning and Transportation Services, so it's almost 2 years. The Committee of Adjustment deals with planning issues, not financial. So the question is, can you provide all the necessary materials to be scheduled by November 2nd of this year? If not, the file will be closed. Otherwise, because it's premature.
Yeah.
And if you can't provide it by that date, then you reapply when you're ready to proceed with your application.
Yeah. Yeah, apply in 2029.
I spent quite a bit of my resources with the architect, which submitted quite an extensive array of information for the committee there, and I'm not sure what is missing from that.
You were deferred to speak to Transportation Services and Community Planning. Have you done that?
No.
So members, can we have a motion, please?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't keep it open indefinitely. I mean, we're being asked to defer to the next committee. It won't even be our committee, this panel that would be hearing this. I mean, the bylaws will be completely different by then. It becomes nonsensical. I'll move a motion to close this file.
Seconder?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Ms. Ruddock. All in favor? Unanimous agreement to close the file. Thank you.
Okay, so next, Mr. Chair, we have a refund request for 52 Lovila Boulevard for 2 minor variance applications. In your package, you have the history, the request from the applicant, the response by the Secretary Treasurer, the previous minutes, and then in additional materials, you have additional information from the applicant for Lovila, where they've given you a letter and the 2 previous transportation reports.
Okay, and then after that, do we have to deal with 76 Greenbrook Drive? Request by applicant to close?
Yes, that's just to close the
That'll be
file.
the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's consider then, you're here, sir, for 52 La Villa Boulevard?
That's correct. My name is Jesse Singh on behalf of Onkar Singh, 52 La Villa Boulevard, homeowner.
And do you have like a business address or?
No, it's 52 La Villa. I'm the homeowner's son.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so tell us why you would like a refund on your application.
All right, Chair. Thank you very much. Committee members, staff, I know it's been a long day, so I will wrap this up as concisely as possible. So thank you for allowing me time to speak today. You may recall we have been here before regarding our property at 52 La Villa Boulevard and the 2 previous minor variance applications we filed for a parking pad. On April 25th, 2024, we received a notice of violation for our driveway parking pad in our front yard. We were not aware that this was in contravention of the municipal zoning bylaw, and as such, we proceeded with submitting a minor variance application to the Committee of Adjustment, as per city staff direction. With our first application being heard at the hearing dated March 20th, 2025, during this process, we received a non-supportive staff recommendation from the city staff, largely from the city's Transportation Review Department, dated March 10th, 2025, noting that our variances were not supportable. Through deliberation with the committee, we received comments back that if the parking pad was reduced to a single space rather than 2 spaces, which was the built condition, the committee would be in a better position to support this variance. Relying on the committee's advice, we worked with our architect and planner to resubmit the variance with the 1-space parking pad. We noted the 3 variances remained the same with the reduction to the values. Our second variance app submission was heard at the Committee of Adjustment hearing dated May 28th, 2026. Prior to the meeting, we received another non-supportive staff recommendation by the city's Transportation Review Department dated May 21st, 2026, which now included an additional comment citing Chapter 918-5 of the Toronto Municipal Code, which prohibits parking in the front yards in the former Ward 7. This was not previously raised in the comment letter from the Transportation Review Department dated March 10th, 2025. And if it was, we would have not applied for this variance the second time. The Toronto Municipal Code remains prohibitive to us being able to get the front yard parking pad, even if we were successful in our variance in the zoning bylaw. City staff should have flagged this the first variance submission, which would have saved us money on updating our drawings, hiring an architect and a planner to represent us, and the submission fee. We have since removed the parking pad and our front yard is now sodded over. We are not here to continue proceeding with a parking pad request. We are here to simply request a fee refund for our previous variance submission applications, given we would not have made the submissions if we originally knew we were in contravention of Toronto Municipal Code, and the request was never going to be granted. We are hopeful you as the committee will hear us out on this matter and authorize city staff to provide a refund in the amount of 4273.67 for the COA application fees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Panel, questions, comments?
Both.
Yep.
If I may. Are you requesting refund for both C of A applications or just for one?
So I'm being practical here, and I'm recognizing the situation. The request is for both. But in recognizing the process of how the City of Toronto operates, I would think it would be fair to say if we could get a refund on the second application, given that you do want us to go through the first process, and then the second one, just some of the points I've made today, taking those into consideration. So I would say, to be clear, I would say my request to you today is for the second application fee.
What would the dollar amount be for that?
That dollar amount is 2228.98.
Having been on the panel that heard both your applications, I feel very sympathetic to your situation. I think there were some unfortunate comments that were made at the end of the first application. I believe there is discrepancy in the memos from the Transportation Department. I believe they're not consistent. And, I would be totally sympathetic to asking for a refund for the second hearing, which I don't think made sense for you to go through.
Thank you.
Those are my questions and comments.
Anything else, panel?
Just by way of, are we in committee or?
No, we're dealing with the.
Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun and did my.
Well, no, that's okay.
Anyway. Just
Okay, so yeah, we're retroactively in committee.
then I have a comment, and that would be that I agree with the comments of my colleague that there might have been some inconsistency with transportation, and the second notice of the bylaw prohibition wasn't a new item, Madam DST. That wasn't like a newer. The second letter, as I understand it, included the prohibition by bylaw for the parking pad, and that's not a new item. That was a pre-existing rule. Is that a fair comment?
The comments are slightly different. If I look at the first comments, they did advise that the parking pad does not provide sufficient space to provide the vehicle on city property because there was a driveway leading to parking. So this was so they do have room for parking. It said that the parking pad's insufficient length prevents a vehicle from being fully contained within the property boundaries. Any parked vehicle would encroach into the public right-of-way, potentially resulting in enforcement actions such as tagging or towing. So perhaps they worded it differently.
But Barb, where it turns for me is I believe in the first memo from transportation, they make reference to if it's approved by committee, they will have to apply for a front yard parking permit. And then the second one says they can't have a front yard parking permit. And to me, that's an inconsistency. And I know it's not the committee that made that error, but it's still part of the City of Toronto process.
Right, and I guess my question was around that full prohibition wasn't a new, it was existing at the time of the first letter. But it wasn't cited.
Outlined in that
It wasn't
first
cited. So that's my question. The only other comment I have is to say we as a tribunal, we listen to submissions, we make decisions, we don't give advice.
Yeah. We shouldn't give advice.
Anything else, Ms. Ruddock, Mr. Adams, to say or ask about?
I think I'll concur with both my colleagues here, and I'll say that as a professional planner, I've tried to work with these parking bylaws. These are not clear, these are not easy, and I have a lot of sympathy for everyone involved. And
Yeah, I mean, as a final comment, I would say that if we were aware that there was a total prohibition, I don't think anyone on this panel would have made that comment either after the first year.
Yeah.
I think the distinction is that reading the memo, that only occurs in North York. So perhaps it was whoever was reviewing the file wasn't aware. They were just looking at West District policies versus specifically for this property where there is the prohibition for the parking in that area.
Nonetheless, we are where we are, and I don't think it was a fault of the applicant. And for that reason, if we're done with discussion, I'll be happy to move the motion.
Yep, I think we are done with discussion, so go ahead.
So I would move a motion that the second filing fee be refunded to the applicant in the amount of $2,288.
And there's some cents too.
98.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever the amount is.
Is there a seconder for Mr. Kamo's motion?
Yep, I'll second that.
Thanks, Mr. Adams. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, you're going to get the refund for the second application by a vote of 4-1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our final item, I believe, is a request by the applicant to have a file closed, 76 Greenbrook Drive. Greenbrook Drive. Am I correct? Okay. I don't think we need the agent, but is there anyone? Okay. So can we have a motion to honor the applicant's request to have this file closed?
Yep, I'll move a motion to close this file.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. And a seconder?
Yes, I'll second that.
Popovic,
Yes.
all in favor?
And that's with no refund,
No
just in case they come back
Oh, yeah,
down.
no, yeah,
We're
with
dealing
no
with it
refund.
now. Thank you.
Add closed file with no refund on our decision on 76 Greenbrook Drive.
It will be closed administratively.
Sorry, who seconded that?
Ms. Popovic. So I will now request. Oh yeah, you voted yes.
Oh, thank you. I missed it.
definitely time to go.
I will now request a motion to adjourn.
I'll put forward that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? This meeting has been adjourned at 1:19 p.m.
No one expected it to go that long.
No. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
It's been that kind of day.